In this video, we're going to add some parameters to a stored procedure to make it a lot more dynamic. And just as a quick refresher, in the video called Creating Stored Procedures, we created this stored procedure, and every time we run it, it gives us this result set. Well, I created it in the AdventureWorks LT2008 database, and if I go under Programmability Stored Procedures, there it is. And if I expand it on down, you will notice I don't have any parameters other than that it returns an integer, and that is just a value that tells me that it ran without an error or not. I want to add some parameters here, and what I'll do is right-click and modify the stored procedure. And what I want to do is kick this down so that you can see it a little cleaner. But notice when I try to modify it, it sets up the alter command, because once the procedure is created, anytime I change it, I issue the alter, and it basically overwrites whatever was there, and whatever I put here becomes my new stored procedure. Well, notice this as keyword right here. What I'm going to do is get up here above company name and hit enter, and I can create variables right here. And I'm going to create a variable called @CO, and I'm going to pass it in with a data type of varchar 30. And what I'm telling it is, when anybody runs the stored procedure, they're going to pass you up to 30 characters, and I want you to load it into this variable @CO, and then I want you to select from the sales customer database. We're going to put a where clause, where company name equals @CO. How hard is that? So notice I'm on alter procedure, so what I will do is execute this. And notice my command will complete successfully, hopefully. Let's go run this thing. And I'm going to grab a new query here, and I will just type, this time, I'll type company name. And if I execute it, it's going to throw an error. And it's going to say, wait a minute, dude, I'm looking for a parameter called CO. Let's go do something right quick. I want to run a query just to see what my company names are and to choose one. How about Sharp Bikes, okay? We want to see Sharp Bikes, so what I'm going to do is execute. We've got Sharp Bikes and we have associated bikes. So I'll type company name, and then I'll put Sharp Bikes. And I'll highlight that, execute it, and notice it just returned Sharp Bikes. I can change this to associated bikes, and it's going to select from company name where the company name is equal to associated bikes, and it will bring those back. There's associated bikes. There's only one problem with this, and that is if I misspell it, it's going to go query and it's not going to find anything. So let's go look at one more thing. And if I refresh this, you will notice now that it shows under parameters, shows you this new parameter that I created for this. But now let's go alter this. So I'll right click and do a modify on this, and the bells and whistles should be flashing and screaming in your head now about the possibilities of what you can do with this, because I can put a comma here, and I can put L name, and I put 25, and now I'd have to pass two variables in. And I can pass as many variables in as I would like. I'm going to take that back out because I don't want it. So I can pass as many variables in as I would like. What I'm going to do now is allow it, instead of saying equals, I'll say like. And like is a good keyword to use here. So I will highlight that, execute it to alter it. Command is completed successfully. And now I will jump out here and I will just do this. I'll use a wildcard character, company name AS. And notice when I run it, I will get all of the company names that start with AS. And I'll pull that out and I'll do company name A. And I'll get all my company names that begin with an A. How cool is that? And I can do company name B. There's all my company names that start with a B. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of functionality that you can build into these stored procedures by using these parameters. And again, I'll jump out here and look at modify. You can just kind of let your mind run wild, but I want to show you one other thing, that I can go down here and type declare @ML and call it an integer. And now this variable can be used anywhere down here in code. So what I can do here is I can set @ML equal to @CO, and then use ML however I would want to down here. I can come down here and say print @ML. And if I alter this, if I haven't done something goofy here, that should come back and say completed successfully. And now when I come over here and run this, I will run company name with a B, execute it, and I have a problem, and this is good. I'm going to leave this in here because you need to see what I just did, and this is something some of you guys I know were screaming at the screen when I did this. I created this as an integer, and I'm trying to load an integer into a text type field, a character field. So I need to match that. Good real world stuff here. Kind of watch my dirty laundry coding here. Company name, and we will pass in A. We will run that, and you'll notice there it runs, and if I look at my messages, it also printed my A. If I go back in here and look at what I told it to do, I told it to print ML, and the A was what I passed in, if you remember. Because if you remember, I passed in right here a percentage. I hope that makes sense. This video's gone a little long. I hope I haven't lost you, but I wanted to put it all into one so that you could see how to work, and especially I like that gotcha that I got in there because you can see some of the things you have to watch for inside these things. It's programming at its heart. So if you've ever done programming, you're going to go wild here.